Alrighty, so the news is here, and it is the global patch notes. So, Thor is out in this update, so I'm kind of excited. I'm interested in summoning and everything, because honestly, after watching gameplay, like, the dev stream made her look kind of mid, but the actual gameplay of the character on JP and stuff has been pretty impressive, so I have to say, Unknown Team definitely looking up, but yeah, Ragnarok Festival, of course, Thor, Thonar, people keep calling her Thonar, I get it, but here she is. So, very, very cool. Obviously, a little bit of an in-game look there. And she is, of course, a UR Festival character. Again, unfortunately. Lots of UR festivals back to back to back to back to back to back to back. So that's fun. Ragnarok Godlike Festival draw. So, of course, it's a 900 banner and everything. And then there is also a free banner as well, since this is the whatchamacallit, 4.5 year anniversary for Global. We do have, of course, Chapter 8 for Ragnarok, so that is looking pretty cool. I've seen a little bit of gameplay from it. There's a little bit of Odin in there, or no, not Odin, Loki in there, as well as some Heimdall stuff, which is kind of neat. So it looks like those characters are getting pretty decently fleshed out. I don't know when we're going to get those characters, if we ever do, but some of the stuff in the actual chapter looks pretty cool. We do, of course, have 3 costumes for the character herself. Obviously, they're all UR because she's a festival character, and that has been the go-to strategy since the end of time. So, either way, the addition of Transcendent Demonic Beast 4th floor, Transcendent Hrosvelgr. So we do have the 4th floor of the bird, which is a whole new mechanic getting added because they are making it to where you can upgrade holy relics. And I was a little confused at this whenever they first announced it because I was like, okay, I don't like it. Is it just going to be the bird relics that are upgradable? But it turns out that every single relic is upgradable. I think there's 183 of them. So, I don't know. I've seen some people say that they're not very happy with the fact that there's a lot of grinding that's going to be happening with this. Personally, I need something to do. I'm at the late game. I'm at the end game, and True Awakening only happens so fast because of the bottleneck of True Awakening coins, and also the LR seals as well. So, as much as I would like to continue working on my box and everything, I gotta be a little bit careful with that stuff because I also need to make sure that I have 100 for whenever new LRs come out and blah, 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 blah. So, this will just be a new mechanic that I can kind of mess around with. It does seem like the 4th floor is pretty hard, but people were able to beat it as soon as it dropped on JP and everything. I've seen several different teams. I think Antu, who is a Spanish YouTuber, has already came up with sort of like a chart of teams that you can use. I'll try to find that at some point whenever I go over the actual fight itself when it comes out on Global. But it looks cool. It's a new bird floor, so it's the bird. I'm kind of glad that it's an older demonic beast to mess around with again, just because of the fact that I feel like, currently, unless they just randomly drop a holy relic for an older beast out of nowhere, there's not normally a whole lot of reason to fight these older ones. Like, I'm just locking in Ratatasker every single week, and Ratatasker is super annoying. I kind of hope that they add a card set or something to make that fight a little bit faster in the future, because that fight still takes like 30 minutes to an hour, basically, just because there's a lot of stalling and stuff like that involved. And I don't know if there's a way for them to really improve that, considering it's just like the mechanics of the fight, but we'll see how things progress, of course. So there are 2 new materials. We have Hrosvelgr's Orb and Hrosvelgr's Feather. So the thing with this new system is that apparently this is just the first level of awakening for holy relics. So I think from what I've seen, I don't know if every single holy relic is the same, but I think it's roughly like a it's either 500 or 700 CC increase. I think it's 700. I can't remember exactly. I remember watching Sora's video on it a little bit, and it seemed like it was the same for a couple of different characters. I don't know if it's every single character, but not a huge increase, just a couple of stats and stuff like that ends up equaling out to about 700, or I think it might have been 500 CC as a boost for the character. Obviously, that's pretty small. I mean, one ult level gives you 400 CC, so I mean, you know, every little bit helps, of course, and all the people who want to be like on top max CC as possible are probably going to grind that out pretty easily, but I don't think I'm going to go hard on this. This kind of reminds me of the True Awakening update, where True Awakening didn't really seem like a big enough upgrade to me to want to like really grind it out and try to True Awaken as many characters as possible as soon as the feature dropped. So I think this is just going to be something nice to kind of work on in the background, or just like as I find time for it. It's not a meaningful enough upgrade at the moment for me to be like, oh, this is something that like I need every one of my meta characters to have. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it, because obviously it is kind of an interesting idea, like a kind of a big mechanic, I guess, and just the fact that there's so many relics in the game that you're going to have to upgrade, I guess. It seems like a daunting task to some, but like I said, because it's such a small upgrade, I don't think that it's worth sweating over, personally, but I mean, hey, I understand, you know, it's a gotcha game. People are going to try to min-max and stuff, so it is what it is. Another notable thing is that this new Thor character is actually strong against the Beast on floor 4, so that is also kind of interesting, which I guess it looks like she's just strong on floors 1 through 4, actually. I did not realize that, because I've really only seen people mess around with the 4th floor itself. But increases the hero's crit damage by 30% and the allies' basic stats by 10% when you have her on the field. So that is a pretty significant upgrade. I don't know, I've seen a lot of people saying that like you gotta summon for this character just for the 4th floor. I have definitely seen teams without her already on it that have been able to beat it. Yeah, that's probably a little bit skewed as far as like actual perception goes, because obviously the only people I'm seeing beat it are YouTubers or like high-level JP accounts on Twitter. So who knows how much their, you know, box CC and stats and stuff like that are actually playing into that. I would assume probably a bit, so do take that maybe with a little bit of a grain of salt. Obviously, my account is also pretty good. Depending on how this update goes, I might end up hitting 17 mil box CC, so, you know, everything just keeps going up. So, yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to mess around with it and kind of give my own, you know, thoughts and opinions and, you know, experience it for myself, but we'll just kind of see how that goes and, you know, take it as it comes. So, addition of the new title and changes in existing titles. So, Hrosvelgr Destroyer is new. And then amongst the existing titles, the Demonic Beast Destroyer, which can be acquired through the Trial of Courage, will be changed to a hidden title. So, if you don't have it, you won't be able to see it or see and check it in the title list. Okay? I mean, they haven't brought Trial of Courage back since. I hated that. It sucked. So, no big loss there. Addition of Holy Relic Enhancement System. So obviously, like I said, you can upgrade. The big issue for me with this is that, so it takes 3 of the orbs, which is fine. That's 3 runs. Kind of sucks. 3 runs for 1 orb, or for 1 upgrade. Kind of, you know, it's a little bit time consuming. 10 of the feathers. I did see on Twitter that Nagato was complaining about, you know, there's a chance that you can just drop no feathers in a run, and that is extremely annoying. I think the max stack that you can drop in 1 drop is 3 of the feathers, so I'm not 100% sure. I guess it just depends on how lucky you get. It takes 3 of the stones that you get for the bird, and then the unfortunate part to me is that it takes 80 of the, I see people call these pizza slices or Doritos, whatever these little triangle things are called. It takes 80 of those, which is enough. Like, that's what you use to make an entire holy relic itself. So that, I feel like that needs to be nerfed. Obviously, they're probably not going to do that at this point since the mechanic is already out, but I feel like that should have been like 10 or 5, because 80 is a lot, and there's not a really good way to get these besides like you can trade them for gold coins, or you can use the World Tree exchange shop to get these. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's a ton. Like, that's probably going to be the biggest bottleneck by far. So that sucks. Not a fan of that, but the rest of the stuff I feel like is fine, I guess. I don't know. I guess it just depends on like how lucky you get with your feather drops whenever you're playing, but I don't know. Anybody with a Holy Relic can be upgraded, and now when you search by Holy Relics, you can see whether or not it's upgraded or not, which is kind of cool. Or maybe it's Enhanced Holy Relics as a filter. I'm not 100% sure on that. Of course, it looks like they... Oh, no. Okay, I was about to say, I thought this was a bundle. But no, this is what the materials you need for enhancing the level 1 Holy Relic is. So it's 5 million gold, all of those materials that I said, or 80 of the pizza slices. So that's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot, man. The pizza slices are just too much. Book of Heroes Chapter 1 unlocked. So I wasn't really sure what they were talking about with Book of Heroes. They did go over it in the dev notes. I've been waiting on the global dev notes to come out, like the translated English ones. They just haven't released those, so unfortunate, but who knows if I'll even get around to it at this point, considering they're so late. But Book of Heroes, which can acquire various rewards from daily mission clear, will be added. When you complete all quests of the Hero's Way, you can proceed to the Book of Heroes through the adventure log, Book of Heroes. Okay. Day 1 through 7 missions will be open in order when you log into the game each day. You can do a mission whenever you want. Unlike the mission, the Book of Heroes chapter will be opened in order only when all missions from the previous chapter are completed. Book of Heroes chapter will be added gradually. Okay, so it's basically just like a new mechanic, like getting added, just like a new way to get a couple of rewards, and they're going to add new chapters to it as time goes on. Honestly, I mean, you know, there's a lot of treasure chests in here for gold. It looks like the middle column is kind of just for like awakening and upgrading materials and stuff like that. A little bit of, like gear enhancement and stuff. And then this left column is either free summon tickets for the new free banner, which I assume is the reason why this, the time limit on that was to be announced. Because it seems like this is just going to be a new banner that's probably available maybe all year around. I don't know. But then you have Super Awakening coins, some pendants and stuff like that. It just really... Okay, that's pretty much all it is. It just alternates between summon tickets for the free banner, Super Awakening coins, and then pendants. And then down here at the bottom, it does upgrade to a UR pendant. But pretty cool. I mean, just easy kind of stuff that you'll mess around with. So just... eat a dish 3 times, clear free stages, blah, blah, blah. All of these are pretty simple, easy. Like, they've done, like, step-up missions in the past that look very reminiscent of this. And then the only one that's maybe different is clear episode 118, How Deanne Remembers It, which is just a story chapter. And that's pretty early on, too. 118 is not very far in, so that should be pretty much an easy get. But we do have a new we do have a new card set. And this one is for the God characteristic. I did see somebody translate this one. I think I went over this one in the JP patch notes, not 100% sure. But if there's a surviving ally with the God characteristic, allies' basic stats are increased by up to 5%, and damage dealt to enemies is increased by up to 10%. So kind of interesting. I could see this one being a little bit more useful for like PvE or something, or even like Guild Wars or something like that. We'll have to see if that gets any use or not. Sometimes these new card sets come out and I just don't end up upgrading them because they're just not useful at all, but we'll see. There is a new holy relic with this patch, which is Hell, surprisingly. I think I talked about this a little bit before, but I was expecting Tyr to get one before Hell did, but either way, Hell is getting one, and I think it's a decent holy relic. I've already seen people saying that it's like not very good, and I think that it's good for her currently, but I think that it'll just very easily get overshadowed because she's still kind of useful. I don't see people use her as much, but I feel like this is going to be a decent holy relic for her right now, but it's probably going to fall off in the near future, and then it probably just won't really be all that much to talk about. So the holy relic itself is only active on the field, all content, increases the hero's crit chance and crit damage by 10% for each source of pain on the enemy, up to 50%. In addition, every time Undying Shepherd is removed from the hero, they recover 30% of their max HP. So, whenever she loses a res stack, she gains 30% HP. Very cool. And then, up to 50% whenever they have Source of Pains on the field. Actually, I don't know if this is for just, like, specific enemy or not. On the enemy. So maybe it's only for, because I think other people were saying this as well on the JP side. Like, I don't think, like if you have 5 stacks on the left character, but you're attacking the middle character, I don't think those stacks on the left character count towards this. I think it's the only the one that you're attacking maybe. So if they have max stacks, you have 50% extra crit chance, crit damage, and that does go a long way. I've noticed that Hell really doesn't do a whole lot of damage whenever she doesn't crit, and the crits are really what you're looking for, which obviously each stack of Source of Pain gives her attack related stats, which is great. Obviously that's going to contribute to crit chance, crit damage as well, but this should be a nice little added bonus on top of that, so hopefully it ends up being pretty decent. Festival Coin Shop is back, of course. Belgius is in rotation on Knighthood Boss. We do have a new set of bundles and stuff, of course, because it's a brand new festival going on. Looks like all of the pretty typical stuff, nothing crazy out of the way interesting. New Step-Up Summon banner for, of course, the power-up tickets for this banner specifically. I never really recommend these, but do it up if you want. Upgrade bundle. This is one of these like timed bundles where as soon as you pull the hero for 6 hours after you get the hero, it lets you buy this discounted bundle. I think it's like $30 or something like that, or at least the JP one was like $30. I'm not 100% sure how much this is, but 10 UR pendants. It gives you like almost all of the materials needed to upgrade the character, but not quite. The UR pendants is the only thing that it takes care of the whole thing. Yeah, I don't even think 3 books is enough. So either way, I don't know. I wouldn't buy this personally unless you just really don't have UR pendants and you're willing to spend the money on it, but do it up, I guess, if you want. Looks like we have Special Weekend Bundle, which is cosmetic enhancement materials, and then Weekend Bundle 2, which is more pendants and more demon materials. Okay. The old Ratatasker bundle is getting removed. It used to have gems in it. I think it's like $50 or something like that in US. They're replacing it with the regular one, which is I think $25, and then it doesn't have the gems, but it still has all the relic materials in it. So probably a better deal if you're looking to buy the holy relics, but even then, like, I don't know. Ratatasker is really annoying, but if you can beat floors 1 and 2 at least each week, then hopefully you can just grind enough out in the weeks it takes them to make a new holy relic, because honestly they're not coming out with holy relics really fast, so I would assume even floors 1 and 2 being beaten each week is enough to hopefully grab them, maybe as soon as they come out, but maybe a little bit after they come out. I'm not 100% sure. Just depends on the frequency that they want to release them, really, but so far it's not been very fast. So we do have a check-in event for the festival, of course, so I think this is 200 gems, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but yeah, pretty good amount of gems, of course, for the whole month that the festival is going to be going on. And then we have a second check-in event for the new free banner as well, so it's just a bunch of tickets for the free banner, a couple of SA coins, and then a couple of SSR pendants here, so pretty typical stuff, I guess. Special missions, of course, for the new banner. You do get 1 free multi for the Thor banner, so hopefully if you're not planning on summoning, hey, best of luck. If you pull her on the free tickets, that'd be insane, because honestly she's a pretty cool character and she's nice to have, so best of luck with those. Other than that, we have the Echo of the Gods, which is another one of these booster events going on, these blessing event things. I wish that they would just come out with a regular name for these, because they call it something different every time, but these are fine. I enjoy these for the most part. I mean, some of them have better boosts than others. They're finally going back to the more than 2 levels formula with this one, so levels 3 and 4 will be unlocked after the August 13th update. We have a special spin event, so nothing too crazy there. Pretty typical rewards, it looks like. We do have a lucky bag ticket in here and a couple of the card packs for the new card set, of course, and the regular rewards are pretty normal as well. They're bringing back the giants, so Gyalga and Grebe are back. They have this like berserker mechanic, kind of like the original, the one ultimate Escanor, where once you kill them, they have like stacks that go off whether they take damage or attack into you, so not going to be a super fast boss, but I do like these giants. I think they're kind of cool, so I mean, it is what it is, I guess. If you beat it 20 times, you get some gems and some other rewards, of course, and then the actual exchange shop has 10 more SA coins, a UR pendant, 3 SSR pendants, this was the fan costume Brunhild outfit, which is honestly a really, really great costume. If I'm not mistaken, it was made by Roseanne, who used to make Grand Cross content. I don't know that she does anymore, but other card sets and another lucky bag ticket there, so that is cool. Ragnarok Clear event, so if you've beaten chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7, you'll get free rewards there, so make sure that you get caught up on the story while you can. Heroes Arena Season 8 is coming out, and you'll see right here, Season 8 will be shortened to 5 weeks instead of 6, which is kind of odd considering that even if you're beating it on the highest difficulty, you have to beat 4 weeks in a row with the lowest amount of teams on the hardest difficulty just to be able to get all 4 or all 100 of the LR seals out of the shop. So one additional week means that you're not really going to be able to get a whole lot of extra out of the exchange shop on this one, which is kind of annoying. And if you're playing on a lower difficulty, you're probably not going to be able to get anything as far as the extras go, because you probably want to just grab as many LR seals as you can. So not really sure what the reasoning behind lowering this is, but maybe they have something planned in 5 weeks instead of 6. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that kind of works out for us, I guess. But Thor is, of course, going to be boosted, so make sure that if you do summon for her, you use her on one of your teams, because I'm sure it'll make things a lot easier. The exchange shop and everything is pretty typical, all of the same normal stuff that it normally is, so nothing crazy there. Fort Solger's reward dungeon, of course, is back, and it's going to have the Hrosvelgr stones, so that is kind of nice if you're wanting to do the upgrade Holy Relic stuff. Diamond perk event, so this is how you get the SSR costume for Thor, if you have to do a full rotation, as well as some other materials and stuff, which is great. Upgrade material event is back. This is probably one of my favorite events that they do for the festivals, just because I get to exchange a bunch of useless crap that I hoard in my inventory for better materials, so I love that. Festival power-up event is going on, so 2 times patrols, as well as all of these extra boosts, which is quite nice. The Festival Lucky Bag event, of course, we've already seen that the tickets are here, so typical rewards that they always do for these. There is a new Abyssal Shadow Sabnak costume, and for whatever reason, out of nowhere, this is a paid costume for the previous festival character, just out of nowhere. So not really sure why they were like, oh hey, we just decided to make an extra costume for her, and we're just going to release it as a paid set. So if you want it, you can buy it. I'm kind of tempted to buy it because I do like the way that it looks, but I'm assuming she's missing one cosmetic in some category, and you could maybe just as easily wait and buy it afterwards, but I don't know, because sometimes when they release random costumes like this, or like seasonal costumes, they're just not available for gyms ever, so that's really stupid. But I don't know, I might buy this, I might not, I have no idea yet. But new Hawk Pass with a set for Wild, and it makes him have some like Demon King cosmetics, which is kind of cool, I guess. Not sure if it's really worth going out of your way for, considering Wild is a gimmick unit, and you're probably not actually going to need him, but he doesn't have full cosmetics, so I guess it would be a little bit of box CC. Or GP as well, so that could be kind of nice, I guess. Very typical rewards as far as these go. Which also, I did actually buy the current Hawk Pass that's going on right now in preparation to get these cosmetics, because I needed some extra scraps. And I noticed that these tickets are not actually the ones where it's like the maxed out substats. The substats on these tickets are actually 2.6%, so still really good, but it is not maxed out, just in case you were curious. I bit the bullet on that, which it actually says it right there, so didn't even have to bite the bullet if I didn't want to. Battle events, we have 2 new battle events, of course, one with Zaratros, one with Bond, so nothing crazy there. There is this new Knighthood Competition Seed System revamp, which I think won't go into place until September, and then we can see here, number 1, Knighthood ranks will be applied using a different method. During the ranking calculation period, only leagues up to the Master 1 League can be entered through the current Knighthood rank calculation method, which is Knighthood Boss Battle, Hell difficulty points plus contribution points. So this is the way that they've always done it normally. As far as like getting into Guild Wars, it just means that you need to get a decent score on Knighthood Boss or Guild Boss, and then you can also donate demon materials and everything like that to give you a little bit of extra score. But that was how you always got into Guild Wars, and now they are changing it, so I'm very interested to see how that works, because currently, like, I've only been in Guild Wars for like couple of seasons now, but there are a lot of guilds that don't even participate in Guild Wars. Like, they just get a high score in Guild Boss, get into Guild Wars, don't do anything because they get free rewards at the end of the season whether they try or not, and then they get kicked out of Guild Wars, and then they just do Guild Boss again. So I don't know, it's free rewards for them, so I don't really blame them for doing it, but it is kind of annoying, like, or not annoying really, just like, it's unfortunate that you're in Guild Wars trying to like have fun with the game mode, and then, you know, you just go up against people who aren't even doing anything. So the league's champion 2 or higher will be participating, or can be participated in by reaching first place and being promoted. Knights achieving the Challenger through Champion 2 leagues 2nd or 3rd place will be seated regardless of the Knighthood rank. Okay. Addition of league demotion system. So knights who have placed 4th in the Challenger, Champion 1, and Champion 2 leagues will be relegated to the league below in the next competition. 4th place in the Challenger League demoted to Champion 1. Okay. I don't really feel like reading a lot of this, to be honest. Knighthood placed 4th in the Champion 2 League, demoted down to Master 1 League in the next season, and the seed will be maintained. When placed 2nd or below in the Masters 1 League, you must gain a rank through the Knighthood boss battle to participate again. So, it seems like when you just do Guild Boss now, you're only gonna be able to go as high as Masters 1, and then after that, you actually have to play Guild Wars to get into the higher ones, which doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. I know that the JP stream was like really up in arms when they announced this stuff, but I have no idea. Knighthood competition attacking team and defense team guide added, so now you can just look and see what the recommended teams are. Nothing crazy there. Partial Hero Way revamp. So part of the Hero's Way missions will be redesigned and the difficulty will be adjusted, so that is nice. Here is the full chart of that if you're interested. I'm personally not really interested because I've done this. I think they've reset it once too, so I've already went through all of this twice, but you do get free materials from it, so if you're a newer player, make sure you take advantage of that. Battle menu is getting a feature where if there is a Heroes Arena season or an Underground Labyrinth season being held, the battle menu icon will be replaced to show these to kind of remind you to do it. And then during the Heroes Arena period, an effect will be added to the Heroes Arena icon in the battle menu. Just makes it a little bit flashier just to try to remind you to do it, I guess. And the new tasks unlocked pop-up exposure improved. So the new task unlocked pop-up will be changed to not display when you log into the game. Oh, okay, that's actually kind of nice. I think it's talking about like the thing saying like, oh, your daily missions have been reset or whatever. That's actually somewhat nice. It was just kind of like a short little stall before you could actually do anything at the beginning when you launched the game. Maximum capacity of each slot for Super Awakening materials increased. Super Awakening in the item storage, capacity of each slot for the Super Awakening materials will be increased from 999 to 999. So I don't know why they're calling it Super Awakening materials. I'm not 100% sure if this counts for Super Awakening coins, which is what they're making it sound like, but I know that demon materials are getting added to this. So if you know, let me know. But I definitely know that the demon materials, like the red demon horns up to OG demon flames, are going to be stackable to 999, which is great. That's honestly a big space saver. And then looks like there is, okay, so this is the bug with the new Blue Summer Infinity Merlin. If you didn't know, apparently whenever you would get 4 stacks on an enemy and then you used a Merlin card, or really an anyone card, to proc Merlin's passive to where it puts the random debuff on, it was supposed to be taking off the enemy's HP whenever that happened, but it was basically only working if the enemy was cleansing the debuffs off with like a passive or a holy relic or something like that instead. So now she is actually a little bit better. Like it looked like a pretty decent change. Obviously, it's very situational, and we'll see how that goes. But I do want to mess around with her a little bit more after this bug fix. And then miscellaneous right here: amazing summer seasonal special pickup draw closing period extended. So I'm pretty sure this is the Merlin banner. It is getting extended by 1 week because obviously there was a bug, and people might want her now that it's fixed. Very strange that it was out for 2 weeks and they didn't fix it, but it's fixed now, I guess, and they added 1 more week. So the SSR costume for Sabnak is also going to be available for 20 diamonds in the Sacred Treasure Shop, so the costume store, and that is pretty much the entirety of the patch. So it is a festival patch. There's obviously a lot of free and easy materials to get. If you're not planning on summoning, you can just kind of coast through, not worry about spending any of your gems, save up for whatever's coming next. There is potentially supposed to be a collaboration time slot sometime in August, so maybe the Part 2 banner, or maybe the banner that just comes out right as soon as this festival ends. Not 100% sure on that just yet, but there is supposed to be a collab slot sometime in August, which we'll see. I assume it'll be probably the banner that comes out after this ends, because they don't typically do collabs during a festival, but this whole year has been crazy as far as banners go, so who knows. But either way, obviously I'm kind of excited because new festival characters, new interesting stuff to mess around with for me, but let me know your thoughts and opinions on the character, of course, and yeah, I will probably see you guys tomorrow night for some summons. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you later.